What's up, everybody? I'm Sly The Movie Guy, and here's my movie review on Avengers Infinity War, directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, the Russo brothers, the directors of Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, and starring the Avengers casting, the Guardians of the Galaxy casting, basically all the characters from the previous 18 MCU films. And in this film, the Avengers unite to battle their most powerful enemy yet, the evil Thanos, who is on a mission to collect all 6 Infinity Stones. Thanos plans to use the artifacts to inflict his twisted will on reality. The fate of the planet and existence itself has never been more uncertain, as everything the Avengers have fought for has led up to this moment. Now, I was really looking forward to this film because I saw the first 2 trailers, and back then in 2007, I heard Kevin Feige said it was going to be Avengers meet the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers Infinity War. I was really excited for that. And back then, the Russo brothers was going to direct this film. I was kind of unsure because I didn't know could they do an Avengers film, but when I saw the last 2 Captain America films, like The Winter Soldier and the Civil War, which the Civil War was really surprising because they directed that film with 11 characters. So I was like, And that one really surprised me because that was 11 characters. So this was a challenge because there was 20 or 31 characters in this film. I'm like, can the Russo brothers do it? And yes, they did. The Russo brothers did not let me down. And I'm pretty sure if y'all haven't seen the film, they will not let you down either. They did a phenomenal job, and this film is good. Marvel has did it again, just with Black Panther and this movie. They do a phenomenal job again, and the writers get credit for that because the writers know how to knew the characters. They knew what the characters are from the Guardians, from the Avengers, and this film showed a lot of emotion and the stuff at stakes, and as well as twists. There's a lot of that in here, and this film, I felt it. It makes you feel it. You really felt that, and this film does that well. And this is the first MCU film I kind of felt like every hero arc is in danger, and that really is something because some other MCU films are like that. Some are, but it wasn't like this where I was like this. I was watching every minute of this movie without like even falling asleep. There was a lot of things because it was like as it was going on, this movie like had no, it never slowed down. It kept you, and you're like, what's gonna happen? You're at every second you want to know what's gonna happen because things happen. You're surprised. You're gonna have a lot of eyes. You're gonna have a lot of oohs. There was a lot of that in the theaters when I went, and I've seen it 2 times. There was a lot of it. I couldn't believe it. First time I watched it, I was kind of getting the pieces together because the film pacing is not bad, but there's a lot of stuff in here that the Russo brothers really injected and the writers put together that you couldn't take like a breath a little bit or breathe a little bit like, and you just was like, oh my goodness, you was just, your eyes kept like getting bigger and bigger as things was going because stuff happens in this film, and I'm gonna be upfront, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's some stuff that happens, especially in the beginning and towards the end. There's a lot that happens, and I was like, there's some surprises too in the middle of the film. There's some surprises that I was really shocked. That's what the film really accomplished. They really, I can tell the writers really make sure they made this a special film. There's some stuff that just happens that I was just like, oh. And there's a lot of people in the movie theater that I heard like caps like, oh, that they couldn't believe it. This film does that well. And I think they do well with the characters, which I'll get into of the casting. Especially one for me, I think stole the show was Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. My goodness. The Doctor Strange was a good movie, and Benedict did well. This one, he knocked out the park once again as Doctor Strange. My goodness. He was so good. I liked what he did when he interact with some of the characters in his film. It actually felt real. I just like, oh, I like when he introduced because when he interacts with the characters, excuse me, when he interacts with some of the characters like Guardians or the Iron Man or somebody, it really does well. He does well, and the action sequence of him, what he does, it was mind blowing. The action was mind blowing in Doctor Strange, but him in here was just it. I couldn't get enough. He was on screen. He stole every scene he was in, and other characters do. I enjoyed Rocket. I enjoyed Chris Hemsworth as Thor. The writers did well with Chris Hemsworth. Once again, he was as Thor. He did well in Thor Ragnarok. He just does good with Thor. I just think Chris Hemsworth is just Thor. He is Thor. I think he does well. And this film, it ain't just the characters I just mentioned. Everybody at least had the screen time in this film. That's the thing about it. It's not like, even though I said Doctor Strange stole the show, but there was a lot of characters that you really cared for because everybody knows that we are in danger. Everybody's like, is that survival. They saying this is happening because this biggest baddest villain Thanos is coming, and Josh Brolin does so good as Thanos. He does well. Is his what I liked about his character is they showed us that this villain had emotions. Something about Thanos had emotions, and we learn that as the film goes on. He's doing something wrong, but something about him that we learn from this film is something we learn, and we see that, and we're like, oh. But at times we say you can actually see that out Thanos, but what he does in this film, you're saying is wrong, and you feel that, you see that, and then you notice that as film is going on. And it's not a backstory, but as the film goes on, and the writers knew that as the film goes on and we see what Thanos is thinking or the expression he makes, we understand that. We understand it, but we pull him for our heroes because he's doing something wrong on there. He's doing something wrong. And we understood that. And that really showed us. Because that's the first time we see that. Usually some of the MCU villains, they just come up and say, I'm the biggest, baddest. Which Thanos the biggest, baddest villain. But they show us what he feels like he wants to do and what he feels like he lost the stuff and all that. And we see that in this film. The action. Let's talk about the action. The action wise for here is good. I don't think it's a pass here to Civil War, but it's good. It's very good. And the Russo brothers knock it out. They knocked the action not out of the park again. Because there's some action scenes that were just like, oh. It just left you like almost like popcorn gonna choke, and you gonna choke off of popcorn down your throat. There's a lot of action that really does well in this film. Like I said, it not surpassed Civil War, but it's really up there. There's some action things that are very funny. It has comedic lining in it, especially in one of the scenes, especially in the third act. I was just like, oh. But in the second act also, especially when it gets down to one of Thanos' Black Orders, and whoever the casting was of the Black Order, they do well. The Black Orders are, one of them is very alike to something. One that was attempted, if you saw the trailers, were the one that was with Doctor Strange or something. The one was like, he was good. I like that character from the trailer. I didn't know what to do, but in this movie, I like this character. I really like this character. He was so good. I liked him in it, and that's much I can say. This movie was great. Now, for as far as the negatives I have for the film, a couple of things wasn't explained to me. I want to see some explanation out of that part of the movie. I want to see, there was little things I'm not going to spoil, but there's one of the parts I wanted to explain of it, and that I wanted to see. And another thing, so I said the humor was good, but there's some of the jokes you probably won't have a nitpick with. Some of the humor I kind of like, didn't like. I was like, oh, okay. I just didn't care for it, but that's just me. Those are one of the nitpicks I had with the film. That's one of the things. Like I said, the explanation on some of the parts I wanted to be explained. How they like that. Don't want to. I was about to get into it, but I don't need to, because it's not. This review is not gonna have no spoilers. But that's one of the things I did have a problem. This movie was good. This Marvel did it again. Can't wait for Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I'm gonna give Avengers: Infinity War a solid A. Let me know in the comment section. If you've seen this film, let me know in the comment section down below. Please, I would like to know and plus tell me what is your favorite MCU film. I would love to know that too. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, click thumbs up, or if you're new to the channel, click subscribe. That's all I can see you next time on Sly the Movie Guy. Peace.